Well, hello there again, everyone. It's so good to be back for another Creatives Checkup Live. Hopefully, you're having an amazing Friday. It is such a blessing for me to come every Friday. Really, we haven't missed one in almost, I don't know, year, 2 years. This has been something where I'm just looking forward to it every time because our community of creatives, musicians, authors, freelancers, anyone in the intersection of the arts, ministry, entertainment, and content creation can come together so that we can help you become the creator that you were created to be. So, God bless you. Thanks you so much for joining us live or on replay. If you're watching us later, it's okay. And also, I always check to make sure that my audio is working. We've had some times when I've been sitting here talking to myself. And so it's always good when you comment, you share, because if you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn or on Facebook, anytime you comment, well, LinkedIn, we can't do that yet. But if you can hear me and you can, see that everything is working, your comments help me to be sure that we're reaching you and that the technical stuff is all working. Anita is already here. She's reporting live and on duty. I love it. Anita is a member of our 360 membership. She's a member of the Creators Resource Center. That's where she gets access to all of our replays and workshops, including some special workshops I'm going to be announcing really soon. She's an amazing member of our community. So it's so awesome to see you here, Anita, right on time. Those of you who are watching on replay, if you couldn't come right on time at 1:00, no big deal. Continue to comment because I can go back in the comments, check out what you shared, and you can respond and be a part of this conversation as well. I'm going to kind of scoot over a little bit. I feel like I'm a little bit off center, so hopefully we don't lose audio. I know I shouldn't move anything because as soon as I start moving stuff, you know what? I'm going to leave it alone because I know I'm a little bit off center, but I'm just going to leave it because I know as soon as I move it, it could possibly move the mic, and then I'm going to lose the mic, and then I'm going to have all kinds of issues. So, Alan, don't be perfectionist. Just stay put where you are. Okay. So I got to get right into today because we have so much to share, my friends. Today is just going to be a baked potato. I've heard people say it's going to be a baked potato of a show. We're going to load this thing up because there's so much for me to share, so many blessings that have come into our God and Gigs community. God is really just pouring out so much, really more than we can handle. That's what the overflow is all about, right? We talk about our cup overflows in Psalm 23. Well, the cup is overflowing. But that means it's a good thing because there's so much to deal with. We can't even hold it all, which means it comes into our community, hopefully, and you're being blessed. Real quick, before I forget, you might notice above me, as I just moved over to the side, there is a QR code. This QR code is our God and Gigs / give URL. So if you scan that, maybe you're watching on a laptop or maybe you're watching on your TV and you have a phone available. You can scan that code and it will allow you to give whatever amount. It is entirely optional. There's nothing being sold here. This is free content to all of our God and Gigs community as well as creators who check in. But I would love for you to be a part of the community that's supporting us because not only do we sell products, but we also invite our community to support us through their own donations. So all you got to do is scan that code. It'll take you to the godandgigs.com/give. It's through our kit site. So it's simple. You simply put in your information and you can support us there. So that's what that URL is, if you were wondering. Hello, Wilfredo is in the building. Wise, the real Wise, an amazing show that he's running over there at Stuck in My Mind podcast. So I love Wilfredo joining us as well. So this is why I want to jump in because we have so much to share and so many friends that are going to be jumping in either live or on replay. So news and notes. Let me make that a little bigger. I feel like I can barely see it. So news and notes. We're going to talk about the new features of our membership. Those of you who are in God and Gigs 360, you have noticed some really cool things that are added to our app. That is our app, y'all. I know that other sites like Facebook and even LinkedIn, I mean, it's super cool because we can connect with you, but we have our own social network. We have our own community where no algorithms, nothing takes place that you can't see. You don't have to wait and hope that they show you an announcement. You get to see it all because you're a member of the app and the community. There's some new features that are really cool. I want to show you what that is about. Then, oh my gosh, okay, super, super, super. Okay, I can't even contain myself. I'm going to try not to jump the gun. But yesterday on socials and in the membership, I shared that there's an announcement, something very special coming up. And yes, it involves YouVersion. So I will make that announcement. Our upcoming local events, again, super exciting. Literally got the flyer today for some local events in the South Florida area. And finally, there's a new partnership that I would love for you to be aware of. I mean, you guys, again, God is just pouring out stuff. So that's just the news and notes. That's news and notes. I got to rush through that. Then we'll get into our vital signs. And this is where we're going to get the real meat of the matter when it comes to what we charge as creatives, how much we should be charging. Are we charging too little? Is it actually hurting not only our brand or not only our pocketbook, but is it hurting our testimony? Is it hurting our ability to show God how much we value Him because we don't charge for the work that He has given us to do? Super deep. We're going to jump into that. Then we'll get into our lab work. Those of you who are trying to build YouTube channels, I'm going to share a little bit about why it looks like we're building, gaining ground in YouTube. Who knew, right? I'm an audio first person, but who knew that YouTube could grow by 200% year over year? But it did, and I'll tell you how we're doing that. Then the console is where we kind of get into some meat of the conversation. I want to hear from you, and this is a hot button topic. Is ChatGPT's AI generator, the image generator, which many of you have seen over and over, picture after picture, that's designed and created in the style of very established artists? And I want to ask you an honest question. What do you think? Are they stealing? Are they using another artist, feeding it into a computer, and basically ripping off their style and giving it away for free? Because you may agree with that or you may disagree, but I want to know what you think. And finally, we'll get to our prescriptions, which is what I'm recommending for everybody to do. And I'll tell you why that reading group plan is going to be so exciting. All right, so let's get right into the news and notes. And this is so, so cool. If you are a member of God and Gigs 360, hopefully you've seen this by now. But now in our app, that's in our phone. And actually, I'm going to pick up my phone right now. This is one of the good things of using my camera on my computer, so I can actually kind of show you my phone, because usually my phone is my camera. But I decided, you know what, this is pretty good video. You guys can see me. So I'm going to go ahead and show you on my phone right now, make myself bigger again. And I'm going to show you on my phone where these recognitions and streaks are, right? So I'm going to go on to my app, which is Mighty here. One of these days, I'm going to be able to show you on the screen. I'm going to be able to share from my app. I know there's a way to do that. I just haven't learned how to do it yet. But if you go into the app, and I want to see if I can make sure I can find it. Let me go to my page here. Streaks. Let's see if I can see it on the mobile app. This is actually my first time doing this, to see if I can see our streaks here. There it is. So right here on my phone, I know it's reversed. Let me see if I can reverse my camera. Here, let me go here. I need to go into my settings so that you tell me if you can see this. Is it backwards or how are we doing this? I want to make sure it's the right way. I'm already mirroring my camera. So boom. Is that looking right now? Can you guys see this? Okay. So here is our app. This is literally our mobile app, our God Gigs 360 app. You can see I have 170 points available to recognize other. I've been on the app 23 straight days. Look at that streak. It's 23. I am keeping it moved. And then, oh, wow. So the max is 28. So I'm about to hit the max streak. I guess I have to start over. And then underneath, you can see recognitions. Now, recognitions is where nobody's recognized me yet. I'm kind of sad. But I can send recognitions to other people. And now these points that I'm earning can be sent to somebody else in the community. And what's so cool about this is now you can look at other people's profiles. You can say, you know what? They really were amazing. They commented on my post. They gave me some great information. They shared something that I needed to share. They boosted my post. They gave me some great feedback. I want to reward them. So by showing up on the app, you earn more points. You see I have 170 there that you can then use to recognize other members. This is honestly the first time I've ever seen a reward system designed to bless other people inside your membership instead of just gaining like points or credits or getting referral, and again, there's nothing wrong with those things. I'm part of memberships where I get points and I get referral and levels up and stuff like that. But this particular system in God Gigs 360 is the first one I can tell that I know of where the rewards are designed to be given away. And I love that so much. So that's something I would highly recommend you check out at God Gigs /membership. That's how you join our membership, either at the gold level, which is our live coaching, or Creative Resource Center, which is our resources, templates, and workshops. So let's move on. And now the big news. I need a drum roll. Can somebody give me a drum roll? Can you give me a drum emoji? Can somebody give me a drum emoji? I don't know. I mean, we need something. I've already kind of showed it, so it kind of like gives it away. But yes, I've been showing this slide for a while now. Now, the side on the left, or I guess you're right, my left, I'm not sure. That one is for the Creator's Craft. Both of these are YouVersion reading plans. But the one on the left, there we go. Thank you, Anita. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yes, we need the drum roll. So Creator's Craft has been available since last year, June 1st last year. However, the Creator's Purpose, which is my new reading plan, is now going to be available on Monday, starting Monday the 14th. It will be available on YouVersion. I am so excited about this. This has been honestly a year's worth of me really pushing myself to stop procrastinating, to be less worried about, what are people going to think? Is it going to be as good as the last one? Am I even meant to be writing on this platform? Am I really a YouVersion content partner? Which I have to get used to saying that, my friend, because maybe there's something in your life that you're like, I don't even feel like I really belong here. Okay. I felt that way. I felt like, am I really a YouVersion content partner? But I am. I've been approved to write. I'm there And now we are releasing our second devotional, and hopefully it will be the second of many more to come, because I'm already working on more in this creators series. So basically, if you see creators blank, as far as I know, no one else is doing that on YouVersion. I was very careful. I didn't want to use anybody else's names, right? But if you see the creator's craft, the creator's purpose, or anything else, that's God and Gigs. We have a page on God and Gigs on YouVersion. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you right now how to get to that. I just made sure I made the banner this time. If you go to godandgigs.com/YouVersion, you will be taken to our page on YouVersion. So we have a God and Gigs page on YouVersion. Right now, all you can see is the creator's craft. That's the only one that's available. But starting Monday, you will see the creator's purpose there. And what I would love to do is have all of us, not necessarily next week, because next week is Easter, Palm Sunday, is so much going on. So I don't want anybody to start reading it really right away. I want you to find it, but I'd rather you read it with us. And so we're going to start reading it on the 21st. It's a 5-day devotional. The Creator's Craft is only 3 days, so think of that for the weekend. As a matter of fact, I invited some people to read it over the weekend because the Creator's Craft is just 3 days. But I would love for you guys to join us to read it on the 21st, the Monday after Easter, and read it and then share your thoughts on the devotional throughout the week. So that's our big announcement for the YouVersion. The Creator's Purpose will be available on Monday. I'm super excited about that. Thank you, Anita. I appreciate that. I'm so glad. I'm proud. I'm blessed. I'm so glad we get to share this with our community. So, local events coming up. As I said, I got a lot of news and notes to get through, and apologize for those of you who are like, let's get to the meat of it. I can't skip this stuff. This stuff is super important as well. So those of you who live in South Florida, I want to make sure that you're aware. Next 2 weeks from now, on April 24th at 6:30 at the Born on Purpose Project, we'll be having a Miami-Dade Broward podcaster meetup. So I would love for you to check it out. Now, to get there, I can give you the link, but probably it's too long. It's an Eventbrite. You can find us on Facebook, and you can also find us on LinkedIn. I created an event for it. So if you just follow me on either of those pages, on Facebook or on LinkedIn, you will see the event page for the Miami Podcasters Meetup, and then you can RSVP. It's free. We just want to meet more podcasters in the South Florida community and show you what's available. The workshop it's not really a workshop. It's really just more like a network, but you can kind of workshop and meet with other creatives in your space. And that can become a place where you can create some amazing collaborations with other podcasters in this area. Podmatch is such a blessing. If you haven't been on Podmatch and you're interested in being on podcasts, you really need to get on podmatch.com. We have a link for that as well at our toolkit. But I want to make sure I invite all of you. And for the rest of you who are interested in podcasting, but you want to level up, power up your podcast, and you see how I'm talking. I talk for a living now. You hear every time I lose my voice a little bit and I kind of get a little raspy. Well, guess what? I have a person that's going to help me, to stop losing our voice, because your voice is your instrument. Your voice is how you communicate pretty much everything you do, no matter what it is, whether you're performing, writing, singing. At some point, you've got to talk. And if you are considering building up a podcast, you really have to take care of your voice. And that's why I'm so excited that we are going to do a Power Up Your Podcast vocal health workshop. Project, protect, and profit. It's so powerful because I get to join with Melissa Gracia Chisholm. She is a master of speech pathology. Now, just remember this for a second. Your voice is literally your instrument in most of the things you do. You got to use your voice. You can't go without talking. And yet, a lot of us podcasters, we never learn from a medical professional how to take care of our voice. Well, that's what you're going to learn in this Power Up Your Podcast workshop. I would honestly, if I'm out of town, if I'm close, if I'm in Naples, if I'm in Jacksonville, I come down for this. I make it a weekend and I come down for this workshop. Now, there's limited spaces. It's only maybe a max of 15 is pushing it. Probably 12 spots are going to be available. For this, it's going to be a 3-hour workshop filled with lessons on how to use your voice. And then Melissa is even offering an endoscopy where she will actually look at your voice and you can get your voice scanned and evaluate it. We're talking about the real deal. She's going to take the little camera. She's going to look in it. If you're comfortable with it and you're ready to take that step to really know what's going on in here, she is going to be offering that as a bonus for some of you who want to sign up for it. So huge, huge, huge opportunity for local podcasters to level up by knowing what your voice can do, by knowing how to profit. I'll be offering a workshop and a webinar on top of that. You guys, this is going to be like the workshop dream for podcasters to really get serious. So I hope you guys will check that out. Anybody that is in the South Florida area, that is for you. Okay, we are now to the meat of our vital signs. Is everybody with me? Oh, I almost forgot. We have our nice little thing. Hold up. Pretend I didn't. I advanced that. I'm going to go back. I got to get used to using our fancy stuff. And let's go into our vital signs. All right, so we're going to talk about your prices. First of all, I need to know in the comments or in the chat, are you already selling something? I was thinking about this even before I started the live stream. I was like, well, before we start the live stream, let me even ask if everybody is in sales. Are you selling your services? Are you selling your art? Are you selling your opinion, your podcast? Are you selling ads? Are you selling anything? Because before we even get into are your prices too low, we got to find out if you're even selling anything. Because you might be saying, yeah, they're too low, they're free, I'm not selling anything. So right away, I would love to know in the comments or in the chat, are you selling? Are you actively promoting and sharing your goods and services for sale? Okay, that's number one. Because if we don't address whether or not you're even scared to sell, then we can't address whether your prices are too low. But if you are selling, and selling means anything where you offer your services or your goods for prices, okay? It could be literally, hey, whenever I have a artwork, I go out and I sell it for $10. That's still sales, okay? If you are written a book and I offer the PDF for $1, that's still sales, right? Anything where you are out giving value and gaining value back, that's where I want to make sure that we're all in the same place. So if that's you, once again, I'm going to give you a chance to kind of give the comments. I know that a lot of you just like watch later, but in the comments are going to be checking as well. For those of you who are watching replay, are you actively selling? That's the first question. The second question is, if you're actively selling, if you're actively giving your goods, services, presenting your work, your artwork to the public for sale, how do you decide how much to charge? And is it possible that the way that you are charging is actually hurting your business? And here's what I mean. We talked about this a little last week, okay? We talked about the fear of even charging and the fear and the mindset around money, that if you don't have the right mindset about money, you're already going to be going into the situation or the transaction or this business with this mentality that it's not right for you to be charging as a Christian. Now, I want to kind of take that one step further. Maybe you've taken the step and you are charging for your fees or your services or whatever. But you're thinking, like we talked about in one episode of the God and Gig Show with Katie Jones, she admitted it, and I admitted it too. When you're a Christian, you feel weird charging more. You feel like if you charge more, you're kind of being selfish, you're being salesy or icky, or you're being greedy. And all of these words come to your mindset as soon as you say, I should charge more for the service. I do know, even as I'm talking about this, we are in the height of a bunch of political talk, and I'm not going to enter the actual politics of it. Let's just talk about the reality of it. We're talking about prices all the time now. Everyone's talking about things are more expensive, less expensive, recession, taxes. Like that's what everyone is talking about. And what I find interesting, and let me know if I'm right about this, give me some feedback on this one. I'm definitely looking at the comments in the chat if you can join me. I'm definitely wondering, have you ever felt like you don't have the right to share your opinion about your prices? Do you feel like the only people that get to talk about your prices are other people? Do you feel like, oh, I need to charge less because what will they say? And or if I charge too much, these people will say I'm expensive. These people will turn their back on me because how could you charge for blank, blank, blank? Because you're a Christian and you're not really, making it easy for me. You're not giving me a deal and all stuff. How many of you have made the conversation about prices about what other people say? What's out there? Now I'm going to turn it around, and this is going to be a little bit of a perspective shift. What do you think God says about your prices? You ever thought about that? You ever wondered, is God happy with my prices? Here's why I say that. Because this is God in Gigs. And we believe God has given us an amazing gift and value in our lives. And we want to share it, right? We want to share it. But we say a lot by how much we charge. We say how valuable we see our gift by what we charge. It is the first thing people usually realize when they see it. They look at the work, but then how many of you guys do that? You look at the thing and then you look at the price tag, right? Like almost automatically, like you go, here's the thing. And then like your eyes go boom and you look at the price tag. Am I right? So that story that is told right away about the way you feel about your work and about the work that God has put in you is told in a matter of seconds by the price tag you add to that thing. And I wonder, are you actually damaging God's testimony and brand by putting such a low charge on what you're offering that people are like, okay, wow, I didn't think it would be that low. Wow, thank you, but that's really, really not what I expected. I thought something like this would be more expensive. I thought that your work was higher quality. I thought that your work was something that, I was going to have to like really push for to be able to afford. So there's a measure of maybe gratitude from people, but there also might be a measure of skepticism. There also might be a measure of whether your work matches the value that you are placing on it. So if you're placing a low value financially, there is a connotation that there's low value artistically. I'm sorry to say this, but it's true. We tend to value things that are expensive more. We tend to look at things that are like, oh my gosh, that is auctioned off for millions of dollars. And we'll look at it, we're like, I don't know how they got that much money, but I guess it's worth that much because somebody was willing to pay it. So I'm really challenging our God and Gigs creative community here to think of whether your work and your artwork and your projects, if your prices are low, are you saying to yourself and to other people that the value of what you offer is low? Because it's not. And I'm going to challenge you to take a look at, think about whether your prices are actually telling people that your work is not as valuable as it really is when it is. Now, I'm going to say this right now. An example is our workshop that's coming up that I'm going to be talking about, our new partnership, which I skipped over because I was trying to get to this real fast, but I'll go back and talk about our new workshops that are coming up. And our workshops are $10. I'm very aware that they are worth way more. However, when I say that, the goal is not for me to cheapen the value of what it is. It is to show you how important it is that you take advantage of every opportunity you have to invest in your own craft, to invest in this community. So when I do a price break or I lower the price, it's not because it's less valuable. It's because it's more important that I get it in your hands. But the value never changes. I know there's a priceless amount of value in my music. There's a priceless amount of value in my podcast. There's a priceless amount of value in what God put in me. I have this treasure, an earthen vessel. This is an earthen vessel, right? This is not the treasure. What I'm offering is the treasure, but it's still a treasure. You have to see your own work as a treasure, which should be valued. And that usually means financially, you should consider raising your price to reflect that value. If that helped you guys, I hope it did. I really want to be very honest about this. I struggle with this as everybody else does. But the fact is that the more that you realize your value is not just in what you do, not just in who you are, there's also the quality and the value of your work. And you start to realize that people tell themselves a story just from the payment, just from the price. And you can actually make people love something more when they pay more. When people pay, they're proud. People who pay are proud. And let's just be honest, when you pay a little bit more, you're like, wow, like, okay, I'm something now. I went out and I invested in something that's really powerful or really great or really good. And you're kind of proud of yourself because you're thinking like, okay, I told myself a story that I am valuable and I am worthy to have this thing that I just bought. Well, the same thing can be said when you give your prices that kind of influence and emphasis. You can tell other people, hey, you got to come up a little bit. I'm encouraging you to be able to afford this. I'm encouraging you to be able to invest in yourself and buy my product at this premium price. Now, so many other people have talked about this, but I'm really glad that we are kind of getting into it because we're all learning this lesson. Wilfredo, thank you, man. That is a blessing, bro. I'm so glad that that touched you, that you thought that that was helpful. And if you thought this was helpful, you guys share this with someone else. And as I just mentioned, if you want to support us, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can just look over there at that URL. You can scan it and you can give any amount to God and Gigs that will help us to present more content like this. All right, you guys, we're doing awesome. We're back on time. So I'm going to go ahead and play our stinger, have a little fun with this, and then we're going to jump into our lab work and how we're growing our YouTube channel. All right, you guys. So let's talk about YouTube. Now, I don't know how many of you are on YouTube right now, if you have a channel, if you don't have a channel, but let's just be very straight up. Like, you're probably watching me either on Facebook, YouTube, or on LinkedIn, but the majority of us use YouTube for almost everything video. And I was not a big YouTube person, y'all. I was not big on YouTube. But here's the thing. Once I learned from our friend LaShonda Brown at Bootstrap Biz Advice, which I highly recommend that you join. We are a member of the Bootstrap community. They have been instrumental in our YouTube growth. So I would highly recommend you join just for the YouTube content or follow LaShonda and her YouTube page because this is going to help you the way it helped us to grow our channel. But I'm actually going to share screen. I just decided, you know what, this is a good idea to just give you the actual things that are helping us to grow our YouTube channel. And maybe if you, even if you're not necessarily big into YouTube, you'll see why it's so important to know your data, to pay attention to certain things, and to use certain tools that'll help you to reach more people that you're called to reach. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Let me find present or invite. Let's share screen. And we're going to show you the back end of our God and Gigs channel. Now, as you can see here, let's make sure you can see it. Yep, you can see it. Okay. So as you can see, we are now up to 1,541 subscribers. That is 200 more subscribers in the last 28 days. Y'all, this was a channel that was stuck probably around 400 or 500 subscribers. And as you can see, we are growing by leaps and bounds. You can see our latest short there has 107 views. It's the 6 out of 10. And you can see there, you can actually see how many views of all, how that does. That's a little lower than our typical, but trust me, that used to be typical. Now it's lower than our typical. And you can see that this is the biggest number stat here. I don't know how many of you guys pay attention to the stat. This is a huge, huge thing. People are watching this short more than 100%. How is that possible that they're watching it more than 100%? Well, what it means is people are watching it over again. They're watching this short twice because that's the only way you can get over 100% is if they watch it more than once. So again, this is just the basics of our analytics here. where you can see how we're growing as a channel. And I can jump over here to analytics. You can see that we are now up to 7,100 views, which is 23,000 more than views, 2,300 more than usual. There's our subscribers that has been going up. You can see this spike here. This is probably one of the shorts. Actually, it's not a short. This was one of our videos that got this many views right here. So this is where you can see a spike in our views and so on. Now, if you're not used to seeing the back end of YouTube and you're like, okay, well, I don't understand what all this stuff is. Let me just give you kind of like the simple way of thinking about how this is helping our channel. The reason why I am paying so much attention to things like average view, how long they watched, and what's the growth of the subscribers is all because what it's really telling me is what y'all need in the God and Gigs community. And I'll give you a perfect example. If I go back here and I look at, let's go to analytics and let's look at audience. And let's see here. Let's look at where people are watching. I can see that 63% of you watch on mobile phones. So that means I need to be very aware of that. Hey, everything that I use and do for you guys needs to be on mobile, or it needs to be mobile friendly, I should say. If I check on videos and shorts, you can see, again, it changes a little bit. And I can see how much you guys watch live. Most of you watch live on a mobile phone. So now I can see, okay, maybe it's not a good idea to give you the UR code because most of you are using your phone to watch, okay? So that's a very big example there. I can go even deeper using TubeBuddy. You can see there's so many different things that are available to you. TubeBuddy is this little green thing that's actually a plugin that allows us to do even more stuff. But this is all basically what YouTube tells me, right? This is all YouTube stuff. So you can see here, I have views, we have a watch time, we have subscribers. So let's just click on subscribers. And now I can see which one of these videos has gotten me the most subscribers. Well, right now it's Talent or Discipline. Vaughn B. Key shares how to make the most of your ability. And what I mean by that is now I can look and say, okay, what is it about this video that's helping me get more subscribers? And by the way, this is just the last 28 days, but I can change that later. So we can then go to the actual video and I can just think right there, as soon as it starts, that's one thing that I haven't done a lot of, just starting it off. And of course, VKeys is so amazing. There's been so many comments, and these comments have also helped build this particular video. Not only that, though, I did promote this, and that's probably the third thing that people probably don't want to hear. But I did spend some money, but not a lot of money. I'm going to go over to my promotions tab. Let's go back out, and I'm going to go to content, and we're going to go to promotions. And I'm going to be very upfront. I'm not going to hide the numbers from you. You can see that I spent $25 on the promoting that particular video. However, I got 112 promotion subscribers from just $25 spent. That to me is a huge ROI. You do not have to spend a lot of money to promote your videos if they are already doing well. So my key is this. If you are on YouTube and you want to promote yourself more, look for videos that have some kind of traction, some kind of influence that are already doing well for you. Then promote those so that you can find more people who are like the people who already like your video. Does that make sense? Because I think this is a hidden gem that most people do not take advantage of. I'm not promoting it to people who have no idea what I'm talking about. YouTube is looking for people who already like this kind of video, and it's showing to them. So limited but targeted and highly sought out ads and promotions for your content is working for me. You notice I did not do shorts anymore because the short didn't do as well. Got a lot of views, but not a lot of subscribers. So we went away from shorts, we went back to videos, and we shared it, and this has been the result. So I highly recommend you try something like this, but read the data, pay attention to the data. If you're having trouble figuring things out, let me know, and I can definitely help you. We can do some seminars on YouTube, as well as, like I said, I'll always direct you back to LaShonda Brown for the best content when it comes to that. And I believe, do we have a link for LaShonda yet? I need to check. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we have a link for LaShonda. Did I put Bootstrap yet? Or did I put it under Alan Paul? Nope, it's not under Guiding Gigs. Let's try. I could have sworn I made one. Yes, I did. Okay, I think that's right. I have to try it in incognito to make sure. Let's try it one more time. I always do things in incognito. I don't know about y'all. I always do it in incognito just to make sure. Yes. Okay. So, anybody that's interested in joining the Bootstrap Club, which again, I highly recommend, is basically a sister community for us, and you want to learn how to get results, you want to go to alancpaul.com/bootstrap. That's where you can join her club. It is such an amazing group of creatives. I've learned so much about building my YouTube channel there. And this is, again, we can do this in Guiding Gigs, but I'd rather you go to the source where I got it from. And then you can learn from her and join her app. And like I said, you really can see how there's so much synergy and alignment between the Bootstrap Club, where she helps people to leverage tech and YouTube to grow their small businesses. And I help creators and musicians and artists and creatives to thrive in every area of their life without sacrificing their values. Well, that's why LaShonda and I are such good friends and colleagues. And by the way, I get to be on her app because if you open her app, I'm the first person you see. Just a little, plug to myself there, right? So anyway, so I would love for you to check that out and see how she is helping us to grow our channel. All right, guys, we're almost there to the end. I want to go ahead and hit a stinger one more time, and we're going to jump into our consult. All right. This is a big one, y'all. I'm kind of a little bit nervous about this conversation. But if you are into it, let me know. Say, hey, I'm ready. Just comment, I'm ready, because if this one might get people a little mad. Okay. I'm just wondering what people are going to think about this one as soon as I opened it up. Okay. So you have to be living under a rock not to have seen what AI is doing in the culture. It's overrunning our culture in terms of what the impact is, whether people are paying attention or not. At my church, excuse me, as I grab my coffee. At my church, we actually had a workshop with a great friend of mine who he is such a tech smart, just a savvy entrepreneur and marketer. And he did a talk about AI at our conference, at our worship conference or our team conference. And he talked about the fact that we've been using AI for a long time. Like, we didn't realize, like, the algorithm is kind of like an AI thing, which makes predictions, right? Waze, he mentioned, makes predictions. He mentioned that what you call, but not Waze, I thought it was Google, is predictions. It looks at your data, it makes a judgment call, and sends you stuff that you believe is tailor made for you, but you just don't know because it's running in the background, but it's really an AI thing. So AI is not new. It's just never been this prevalent. And so now you guys are seeing, I don't know if you've seen this, let me know if you've seen it, all of these AI image generations, which are cartoons and they're Muppets and they're made in Studio Ghibli, like, they are basically reproductions of other people's work. The way that they would do it in the style of, I guess, is the supposedly non, criminal way to say it. It doesn't sound like stealing when you say in the style of. But let's be honest, it's basically using their style without their permission. And in most places, if someone presents their work and says, "Hey, here's the thing you asked for, but you basically ripped off somebody else's style," they would be mad. They would say you're stealing. So I am interested in this is where I need to wait for the comments, I guess, a little bit. I'm going to give you a little bit of my take, and you guys tell me whether you think this is right or wrong. I've often defended AI in the way of saying that, well, it's a new tool. People will use it to gain more access and information faster than humanly possible by just searching. And when it's used correctly for your own benefit, using your own data to for me to say, hey, read my last 10 emails and give me the best performing one. Read my own stuff, evaluate my own stuff. That's really how I use it 9 times out of 10. I say, hey, here's what I've done, find the best thing. Or I'll say something like, I'll do a prompt that says something like, in your opinion, what are the best blank, 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 blank? It'll give me that. Of course, I know that as I'm saying that, AI is using thousands and millions of other people's opinion and using it as a prediction. So I'm aware that that's even kind of like a slippery slope. Where I think we cross a line, and let's be honest, I know I'm being very subjective here, but I do feel we've crossed a line when it comes to using other people's artwork as the singular focus for the creation of the AI agent. So when I say, hey, make me a picture in the style of blank, and it does it, and I know I no longer have to go to that artist anymore because all I have to do is just tell it to use its artist style. I feel, again, I know this is kind of a slippery slope because you could say Van Gogh or people that are passed away or Impressionism, and it's like, oh, is it stealing from that artist? I don't know. I just know when it comes to living artists, it would bug the heck out of me. If someone said, hey, go create a song in the style of Alan Paul, and then didn't mention me, or mentioned me but never gave me credit in terms of financial credit for basically importing everything into their style, I think the mass production element is what makes me worry. I've never worried about it before until I think this AI became so good at reproducing artist work that if you couldn't tell the difference and you think the artist did it, and now why go to the individual artist if you can do it for free? I feel that is a level of theft. Now, do I believe that every artist uses other people's work? Yes. Do I believe that we all end up kind of copying from other people? Yes. But I don't think it rises to the level of where everyone can do something with your style at the same time and you never be compensated. So that's my call, or that's what I feel about it. I'm curious what y'all feel about it. Do you feel that AI and ChatGPT, the image generation, is stealing from artists? I would love to know your thoughts. I'm going to leave this question up a little bit longer so that you can respond if you're watching on a device that you can't respond, or those of you who are watching on replay, I want to make sure you get a chance to respond to this specific question. Because again, I do kind of feel we're entering a very dangerous place. Now, you may not know this, but I think on the internet, let me check this. I don't want to say it and then not be right. I want to see, but I believe there's a law that's being worked on right now called the No Fakes Act. And I see it here. And it looks like it is the first ever federal right of publicity and a nationwide standard to ensure. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up and see, how does it say that? To ensure what? Yeah, this is kind of like, well, this is where the Grammys are talking about this. Okay, so intended to advance creators' rights by protecting their voices and likenesses from the authorized creation and use of digital replicas. All right, so this is pretty important. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Because whether you feel it's stealing or not, the fact is that there is now legislation going forward that is designed to protect creators from their likeness being deep faked by you saying something you didn't say. So that's what it says. No Fakes Act reintroduced in Congress with support from Google, RIAA, and more. So who knows where this is going to go? We know that the courts can take forever to figure things out, that laws usually leave out something. But I do love the fact that we are finally speaking out and saying, hey, human creativity, as it says right here, we should not be worried about being replaced by AI. We should be able to use AI to our advantage to create more work that is human generated and has a human stamp on it, but not to replace the people who are artists simply because we think that the ChatGPT can create a likeness, a fake, a close enough But I really wonder how this is going to go. So I am very interested in your comments or your questions about this. Whether you think this is going to work, whether you think that deep fakes are an issue for you, or maybe you're not worried about it right now. I would love to know your opinion about that. Okay. All right, my friends, we're almost to the end. So once again, I'll keep this up a little longer, but I don't think I had any comments right now. So I'll wait for comments in the bottom of the screen after the replay. And please let me know what you think about this, because I don't know about you, but this is becoming more and more of a hot button topic. And I really want to make sure that we address it so that you know what to do when it comes to AI and how to use it ethically. All right, we're almost at the end. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to our prescriptions, but I don't think I'm going to do the slide today. I'll just do it right away because I want to make sure I get right to it. So, what to do next? Prescriptions. Now, I do not currently have a page for sign up. I was literally about to do it, but basically reminding you that we are going to be going live with our Creator's Purpose devotional on YouVersion Monday. So what I would like to do is I would like for you guys to join us in reading, but we're not going to start right away. We're going to start on Monday, the 21st. Now, I don't have this reading plan sign up list up yet. So I figured, okay, I don't have it ready. I tried to rush it. I didn't get it done by the time this call came up. So what I'm suggesting is that you go ahead and go to godandgifts.com/YouVersion. This will take you to the YouVersion page on your phone as well. I'm going to try it right now to see if it works on my phone, but it should. And it will take you to the Bible app. So you may not have the Bible app on your phone yet, which is exactly why it's good for you to do this first. Okay, so I'm doing it right now. godandgifts.com/YouVersion. Just make sure it works. If you have the Bible app already downloaded, it may go ahead and open that for you. But as you can see right here, says follow God and Gifts on the Bible app. So it allows you to see our page. You can download the Bible app if you don't already have it, right? And then it shows you the very first plan that we already have there, the Creator's Craft. So if you go to godandgifts.com/YouVersion, you'll be taken to this page, right? Then when the plan goes live, you can then click on the plan right there in our page on the YouVersion app, and it will take you to it. You can go ahead and prepare to join the reading plan whenever it starts, which will be the 21st. All right. So that is basically how I would suggest you get ready for the plan and you get connected with us. Now, I will send out emails if you're interested in being a part of a reading plan where we all read together and you are getting updates. Well, then you need to let me know. Right now, I don't have a landing page for that. But if you put in the comments, if you put the word purpose, I'll know that you want to get on that mailing list. So I will send you the link if you comment with the word purpose so that I'll know who wants to be a part of the reading group. And I can send you a link so that you can get updates and reminders to join us on the 21st. All right. I hope we're doing good. I have a few of you that are watching right now. If you're still with me, let me know. Give me a wave. Give me a like. Let me know that you're still with me. I have one more announcement that I kind of skipped over, but I'm kind of glad I did too, because this is like just the way this is happening. It could be only God. So I'm going to kind of take a little bit of a moment, go back to our news and notes. And I want to share a book that I am now reading, and I'm now working on doing a partnership with an amazing author. So as I pick it up right now, this is called Profit First for Creatives. Now, let me kind of break this down because this is going to be something that for the next few weeks, you're going to be hearing me talk a lot about. So Profit First for Creatives is written by this gentleman, Christian Brim. I got this book from Christian, and yes, it is signed by Christian. This is amazing to the OG character-driven creative. Like really, this warmed my heart. Now, if you don't know what Profit First is, I've been talking about Profit First for at least 2 years. We've done episodes on Profit First in the podcast and on YouTube. And we talked about how Profit First is this methodology of dividing up your funds and working with your business and with your business revenue and with your expenses in a way very, very much in a percentage base, in a plan base, Some of you know about Dave Ramsey. This is not Dave Ramsey, but it's very similar in that it is a step-by-step plan to help you to get profit first in your business. And this is why I'm so excited about it. It's creatives. Now, I've only read about the first chapter, but I immediately knew as soon as I met Christian and talked to him a little bit that this was going to be probably our Bible for the financial management of our businesses. He is a fellow believer. He is a man that is passionate about turning passion into profit. And because this is our monetization month, I am hoping and praying we can get Christian in to talk about this book and the principles of keeping you profitable as a creative in the month of April. Now, we may not get that workshop in. We'll see. We're going to try our best. I talked with his office today. His amazing team, his amazing staff has already gotten on the ball. They're going to try to get us a workshop in April. Now, if it doesn't happen, that doesn't mean you shouldn't go ahead and get this book, because if you go ahead and get the book now, what I really would like to do is give anyone that is not already a member of God and Gigs, if you join God and Gigs Gold, which is our top level, okay, which is our mastermind level, I would be willing to get you guys signed copies of this, because his office says they are willing to give us signed copies of Profit First for Creatives. So anyone that joins God and Gigs Gold, okay, I'm going to leave that one as like the carrot, because, you know, you can go into the workshop. You can go to the workshop for $10. And once that workshop is announced, you can get a chance probably to get the book. But for those who join God and Gigs Gold for the next 2 weeks or so, I will buy you your copy, and Christian has promised that he can sign it and give it to you guys with the pretty hardcover and all that amazing stuff. So I suggest you go to godandgigs.com/membership, okay, just to join, because this is a partnership which I believe is going to be moving on for a long time. Now, Christian I didn't even mention who he is, by the way. He said Profit First for Creatives. He is a certified public accountant who has worked for small businesses for over 30 years. But what's so cool about this is that he's so focused on the creative entrepreneur and helping them to get more money wise, to be able to make more profits, to have stronger businesses. And that's really, again, he's literally speaking to us. So if you're interested in getting a book like this, getting my copy, okay, you want a copy like this and you want it signed, you want the cool bookmark and stuff like that, his team has already said, let us know. So those of you who join godandgigs.com/membership and join the gold group, again, this is the only caveat I'm making, because some of you are like, oh my gosh, I want to join. Yep. But I mean, I would definitely consider doing other giveaways. This giveaway is for those of you who join gold, because you guys will be part of our mastermind level membership. Okay. So that's where I would love to give you a copy of this, but just let me know if you are joining. Maybe I'll be able to extend this even to those of you who join the Creators Resource Center. Okay. But we're going to see. But neither way, you got to go to godandgigs.com/membership. All right, my friends, it looks like we are right on time. I am finishing up. Those of you who joined us, I want to say thank you once again to Wilfredo. Wilfredo joined us together with everyone. I love that Anita was here right at the start. You might still be hanging out with us. We're going to be doing in God and Gigs 360, we're going to be doing our Gold Mastermind meetup. And then I mentioned the local events as well coming up. There's so much stuff happening in May, you guys. And don't forget to go check out. Let me see if I can pull up let's pull up real fast the Creator's Purpose picture. I would love you guys to see it. I can pull up images now. StreamYard lets me pull up images. Let's see if I can find it. It's under thumbnails, right? Should be under thumbnails. There it is. All right, you guys. So there it is. That is what you'll be looking for on Monday. Okay. Look for that thumbnail on your YouVersion app. Again, try not to start reading it right away. Okay. Find it. But I would love you to join us in reading it. Spend a lot of time this next week celebrating Easter, giving God praise, blessing him for the resurrection, reading all of the scriptures about the gospels and the resurrection and the crucifixion. That's for next week. So I don't want you to start the Creator's Purpose during Holy Week, but it comes out during Holy Week. So this gives you all week to download it. Go to godgives.com/uversion where you can find it, right? And then go ahead and download it or get it ready. And after Easter, once he's risen, once we're good, then we will all read it throughout the week of the 21st. And that again fits perfectly because that'll be right in our segment where we'll be getting ready for our membership, our podcasting workshop. It's right in the middle where we'll be talking about a lot of other things. Hopefully getting ready for our workshop with Christian Brim on profit. So all these things will be happening in the perfect time right after Easter. Okay? All right, my friends, that is our just almost lost you. Okay, here we go. So, as I mentioned, guys, this was an amazing chock full of information, of stuff that we want to share with you. Once again, thank you, Anita, and everyone watching on replay. Please make sure that you comment, like, and share. Okay, this is on LinkedIn. If you're watching on LinkedIn, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on LinkedIn. Please make sure you comment because I couldn't pull up your comments. Facebook as well. If you joined us on Facebook, Wilfredo was on Facebook today. So make sure you comment and like this as well because the replay stays up. And the more you comment on this particular live stream, the more the algorithm understands, oh, this is quality content. We should share it with more people. And that's just how we want to continue to spread this message. My friends, it's been a blessing. It's been amazing. I will probably not see you next week. Let's quickly do some housekeeping. Next week is Good Friday, and I want to honor the holiday. It's a special day in the Christian calendar where we honor the fact that Jesus died, that we give so much reverence to that. We know that here we don't talk 100% pushing anything in terms of which church you go to or whether you should go to church. But I'm just going to put it out there. You should be giving God your time and giving him your reverence throughout the weekend of Easter. So I will likely not do a live stream next week. Okay. So don't look for us at 1 p.m. I would rather honor Good Friday. And then we will come back the week after that with some special announcements. Most likely we'll see when that workshop is scheduled and all that kind of stuff. But just so you know, unless I decide to go live on Thursday, which I probably won't, and Saturday, once again, I probably will not go live on Saturday. So we'll leave Friday open as a holiday to celebrate the the death and resurrection of Jesus. And then we will move back into our regular schedule. So thanks so much for that little reminder there. Even as I was closing out, I want to remember. Thank you, exactly. Appreciate you, Anita. So yeah, we'll be in touch throughout the God and Geeks app throughout the week, of course. Those of you who are a part of our app, you guys can always check in and so on. But we won't have a live stream next Friday. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me today. This was awesome. This was so cool. Until next time, continue to become the creative that you were created to be. God bless, and we'll see you not next Friday, but we'll see you 2 Fridays from now. Make sure to check out the podcast because we will be there on Mondays with a new episode. God bless.